On the morning of October 18th, one bed remains untouched inside Hotel Miradouro. It belongs to Mara Vale, 27 years old, a seasonal worker at an old family hotel on Madeira, high above the Atlantic Ocean. Mara has worked there since the start of summer. She covers bar shifts, helps at breakfast, and is saving money to move to Porto after the season ends. To guests, Miradouro is a quiet place with terraces over the sea, stone steps along the cliff, and rooms where the wind presses against the shutters at night. To the staff, it is an old building full of back corridors, spare keys, cramped storage rooms, and doors that do not always match the floor plan. On the night before she disappears, Mara works the late shift in the bar. She clears glasses, speaks briefly with a colleague, and then walks toward the staff corridor beside the kitchen. Around midnight, she is gone. The next morning, her bag and work shoes are still in the small staff room she uses in one of the older guest wings. Her passport is still inside, her phone is off, her jacket is missing. At first, it looks as if Mara may have walked outside by herself, toward the mountain road, or the path along the cliff. But people who leave by choice usually take the things they need to stay gone. The first name in the file is Nuno Reis, Mara's ex-boyfriend. He called her several times that evening. Some calls were rejected immediately, others went unanswered. A colleague remembers Mara looking at her screen during her shift and saying she was tired of this. Nuno is an obvious first lead. The breakup is recent, he knows where Mara works, and around midnight he says he tried to drive to the hotel. Heavy fog and a closed mountain road stop him in the village above the coast. For investigators, the first version almost seems familiar. A young woman disappears, a jealous ex keeps calling, the night is dark, and the cliff is close. But that version quickly begins to fall apart. A camera on the access road does not record Nuno's car near the hotel. His phone stays in the village. No guest or staff member sees him inside the building. Nuno is angry, intrusive, and hard to like, but the file finds no evidence that he ever reached Mara after she entered the staff corridor. Attention then shifts to Álvaro Sanchez, a wealthy regular guest who often stays at Miradouro when he is on Madeira. He is the kind of guest who knows staff by name, tips without much warmth, and is used to certain questions not being asked. On the night Mara disappears, Álvaro first says he went to bed early. That is not true. A camera in a side corridor shows him shortly after midnight near a service door, close to room 214. Room 214 is officially out of use. According to the hotel, there is damp in the wall. It is not booked, not assigned to guests, and not listed in the normal room schedule. Yet Álvaro was heading in that direction. When police confront him, his manner changes. He does not become loud, he becomes careful. He says he did not hurt anyone. He says he never touched Mara that night. And for the first time, the silence around room 214 feels larger than one guest's lie. Álvaro looks suspicious because he lied, but his lie is not about Mara's disappearance. It is about an appointment no one at the hotel is supposed to know about. The case turns not because of a confession, but because of a cleaning sheet. A young staff member points out that room 214 has received towels, bed linen, and minibar stock more often than any closed room should. That detail changes the case. Room 214 is not simply a damp, unused room. It is being used, just not through reception. When investigators check the keys, they discover a separate keyring. It is not on the ordinary board. It is kept in a service cupboard mainly accessed by Thomas Alvão, the hotel manager. Thomas is in his early 40s, well-dressed, charming, and controlled. To guests, he is the perfect host. To staff, he is the man who fixes schedules, grants small favors, and decides what happens without ever raising his voice. He is married to Sofia Faria, the daughter of the owners. The hotel is her family inheritance. His position comes through her. Her father, Duarte Faria, still moved through Miradouro most days, no longer running every detail but watching closely enough to know when something in the hotel felt wrong. Mara knew Thomas better than people first admit, not publicly, not officially, but colleagues remember small things, adjusted shifts, short conversations after closing, and the way Thomas said her name more softly than the others. To Mara, room 214 seems to have been a secret place between her and Thomas. To the investigation, it becomes something else, a room that officially does not exist but has seen too many people. When room 214 is examined properly, it is unusually clean, not normally clean, restored in a hurry. The bed is made, the floor has been mopped, and the bathroom smells more strongly of cleaning fluid than the other rooms on the same corridor. Still, the room speaks. In a narrow gap beside the bedside table, investigators find a piece of Mara's earring. In a bin, they find the metal clasp from her jacket. Downstairs, inside a linen bag that does not match the registered cleaning round, they find a towel from room 214. Then comes the evidence Mara managed to send herself. After midnight, a friend receives 3 photographs from Mara's phone. They are rushed, blurry, and badly framed. They show cash envelopes, a separate keyring, and a small notebook with initials, room numbers, and times. The message underneath is short: "If I'm not gone tomorrow, look at this." From that point on, Mara is no longer just a missing staff member. She is the only person who understood before she died what room 214 really was. Not only a place for her secret relationship with Thomas, but a hidden room where wealthy regular guests paid for discreet sexual arrangements, kept outside the booking system and away from the Faria family. The reconstruction begins with Mara's mistake. She believed Thomas was taking a risk for her, that he was trapped in a difficult marriage, that room 214 was their secret, that she meant more to him than a temporary employee with a contract ending after the season. That night, she sees the truth. The room was not created for her. The room was already there. Thomas had built a private system inside a hotel that did not belong to him. Separate keys, adjusted shifts, quiet appointments, guests protected by discretion. People made dependent on silence. Everywhere else in Miradouro, the name and history belonged to the Faria family. In room 214, Thomas has something that feels like his. He decides who enters. He decides what is not written down. He decides who has to keep quiet. Mara takes the photos, sends them to her friend, and confronts him. She no longer wants to hide what he is doing. She wants Sophia to know what is happening inside her family's hotel. Thomas tries to calm her first. That is how he works. He does not start by shouting. He talks, promises, softens, twists. But Mara is past that point. The evidence has already left her phone. What happens next is reduced in the file to physical traces: a broken clasp, a torn earring, a displaced towel, signs of a brief struggle near the bed and bathroom door. Mara dies in or near room 214, not as part of a planned murder, but because Thomas feels everything slipping at once: his marriage, his position, his public face, and the one hidden space where he still feels in control. Afterward, Thomas does not create a perfect crime. He buys time. He takes Mara's phone, restores the room as quickly as he can, and tries to make her disappearance point outside. But the fog, the night porter, and a locked service gate make the route toward the cliff too risky. So he carries Mara downward, through the old service stairs, into a maintenance room beneath the hotel. He thinks it is temporary. That is the mistake that catches him. 2 days later, kitchen staff complain about a strange smell near the lower floor. At first, it is treated as standing water. Miradouro is old, damp, and built against rock. A maintenance worker opens a metal door near the former wine cellar with a police officer beside him. Behind old terrace chairs, plastic sheeting, and a rolled linen cover, they find Mara. After that, the file closes in quickly. Duarte Faria, Tomas's father-in-law, also changes his statement. He admits he saw Tomas near the service corridor that night, not with Mara, not inside room 214, but at a time when Tomas claimed to be in his office. Duarte later says he did not understand what he had seen. At first, he thought he was hiding a family scandal. His son-in-law near the service corridor at night, possibly connected to an affair or a private arrangement. He believed speaking up would destroy his daughter Sophia and stain the hotel name. Only after Mara is found beneath the building does his silence become something else. It did not protect Sophia. It protected the man who had lied to all of them. Nuno Reis remains the ex who called too many times. Alvaro Sanchez remains the guest who lied to hide his own shame. but neither of them had access to the system behind room 214. What convicts Tomás Alvão is not one dramatic confession. It is what he fails to erase: one keyring, one linen bag, 3 photographs, 1 cleaning sheet, and a room that was never really empty. Tomás is later found guilty of Maravilha's murder and of running an illegal arrangement inside Hotel Miradouro. He receives a life sentence with no possibility of parole for 30 years. Sofia Faria takes over the hotel after her father steps back. Room 214 is never reopened to guests.